For 10 years, I worked 2 jobs to fund a luxury lifestyle for my wife and her lazy parents. But when my sick mother needed a place to stay for just 1 week, my wife told me there was no room in my and said she was disturbing their peace. I didn't argue. I just did the math, packed their bags, and handed them legal papers showing I'd sold the house. Here is how it happened. I'm 34, a senior data analyst, and for the last decade, I've been a sole provider for my wife, Chloe. 6 years ago, Chloe convinced me to buy a massive 5-bedroom dream house in a wealthy suburb. Right after we moved in, her parents, Richard and Susan, claimed they had financial troubles and asked to stay for a month. That 1 month turned into 5 years. They didn't pay a single cent in rent, utilities, or even groceries. Richard spent his days drinking my expensive scotch, and Susan treated her home like a 5-star resort. Meanwhile, Chloe didn't work either. She spent her time going to brunch and charging luxury shopping sprees to my credit cards. I tolerated it because I loved her, but everything changed last month. My 68-year-old mother, who lives alone in another state, had to undergo knee surgery. She needed a place to stay for just 1 week to recover before going to rehab. I told Chloe my mom was coming. The moment my mom arrived, the energy in the house turned radioactive. Richard and Susan refused to even say hello. On day 2, I came home early from work and found my mother sitting on a plastic chair in the garage, shivering. I blew up. Why is my mom in the garage? I demanded. Chloe rolled her eyes and said, Richard has a mild headache, and your mother's coughing is disturbing his peace. Plus, we don't have a spare room. I stared at her. We have a 5-bedroom house. What do you mean no room? Chloe casually replied, well, 1 is our bedroom, 2 are my parents' rooms, 1 is my walk-in closet, and the last one is a playroom for our golden retriever, a playroom for a dog. Over my recovering mother, I took my mom to a high-end hotel immediately, paid for her stay, and made sure she was safe. But during that drive, something clicked in my brain. I realized I had spent 10 years being a financial slave to people who didn't even respect my mother. That night, I sat down at my laptop and did the math. The house had appreciated massively in value. It was solely in my name because Chloe had a bankrupt credit history when we married. I called a cash buyer real estate investor I knew. By the next afternoon, I signed the papers to sell the house under market value for a quick cash closing. The buyers wanted everyone out in 14 days. 2 weeks later, I walked into the house with 3 cardboard boxes and dropped them in the living room where Chloe and her parents were watching TV. Start packing, I said calmly. We need to clear the house by Friday. Chloe laughed. Is this a joke? Where are we moving? I handed her the finalized sale documents. You and your parents are moving wherever you can afford. I sold the house. The meltdown was absolutely epic. Richard stood up, his face turning bright red, and started screaming that I was a traitor. He actually pulled out a notepad and started listing everything I owed them from allowing me into their family. Susan started crying hysterically, calling me a monster. Chloe screamed, you can't do this. I'm your wife. I'll take half of everything in the divorce. I smiled, reached into my pocket, and handed her one last envelope. I know. That's why my lawyer already filed for divorce this morning. And thanks to the airtight prenuptial agreement your own father made me sign 10 years ago to protect your imaginary inheritance, you get absolutely nothing. The look on Richard's face when he realized his own greed had ruined his daughter's safety net was priceless. It's been 2 weeks. The house is gone. The cash is securely in my bank account, and I'm currently staying in a beautiful condo with my mother while she fully recovers. Chloe keeps blowing up my phone begging for a second chance, but her texts are going straight to voicemail. Am I the bad guy here?